This is a poured concrete foundation. In a lot of Vermont homes, we found rubble foundations, stone foundations. Concrete will be much more tighter and not as air leakage through all the cracks. But one thing they have all in common is the box sill. And this one has some fiberglass in it that's probably leaking a lot of air behind there, and it's not really doing a lot of good. And we're going to replace that with some high R foamed in place. And when working with fiberglass, you want to make sure you're wearing rubber gloves or gloves of some sort, and a dust mask or a respirator, and some safety glasses.
Okay, now we're going to remove the fiberglass from the box sill. And the homeowner has tried to do some good here, but with these exposed fibers, the air can move around and through this fiberglass. We're just going to pull it right out of here. And you can immediately feel the cold air coming right in. We've got a nice clean box sill here, so we'll just measure our high R piece. We're going to want one 14 by 11 in this bay. You don't have to be too exact, as we're going to foam them in place later.
So we're going to cut this, Corey said 14 by 11. Doesn't have to be exact like he said, because we're going to put some single part foam around it that's going to take up any errors in our cuts. We've got the 11 this way. And we're just going to cross them lines and make a cut here. This is 2 inches of high R, which has a R value of 6 per inch. So we're going to be putting an R12 up in there. Where there was an R19, that probably wasn't working effectively as an R7. So I'm going to take a saw and cut this. And you can cut it with a long knife or a saw like this, or a sheetrock saw would work. And basically, like I said, because it doesn't have to be exact, we're just going to line them up and cut right down through. And probably most of these are the same size, so you could cut a whole mess of these and then get ready to put them in place.
We're just going to slide this up, reflective side toward the heated space. We're just going to pressure fit that in. And we're going to take our low expanding single part foam. And while we're up here, we'll just take this bay out as well. And we've got a wire penetration here that we're going to want to foam before we install our high R. Low expanding foam. And we want to make sure we cover that hole completely. And we'll give that time to set up. Okay, now that we've foamed the wire penetration, in this bay here, we've got this wire, so we're going to have to notch out our high R so that it can make contact with this outside plate. Okay, we're going to put these pieces in here, like so. And then we're going to put our single part foam everywhere where the high R isn't. Okay, and we finished foaming that one in place. So we'll move on to our next bay. And again, we'll just pull the fiberglass right out. And we do have some wire penetrations in this one, but it looks like we will be able to just fit our 2-inch high R right behind the wires, thus not having to foam seal any of the penetrations.
Again, here's a poured foundation where they've cored through to put the utilities in. They've clayed around the pipe, which I guess is a better seal than none. But the end of the wires here are open, so we can air seal that.
Other sources of cold air leaks in the basement might include the joint between the sill and foundation, often referred to as the mud sill, foundation windows, and miles of cracks in the foundation itself. Now you can focus on some of the more easily addressed leaks in the middle of the house. If your house has a fireplace, this is a great place to start. In cold weather, fireplaces lose more heat than they generate because they suck so much outside air in for combustion. Also, fireplaces can be a huge air leak when not in use because the damper is often poorly sealed. To address these concerns, it is recommended that you close off a fireplace to create a tight seal during cold weather. Use a draft stopper with a high-R foam plug with flagging to make sure people are aware the chimney is blocked. Or consider installing a closed combustion insert to provide heat while preventing indoor air from leaking up the chimney.